Separation anxiety and confinement anxiety. What are they? How do they differ? And what do you do if your dog is struggling with this? So we'll start with separation anxiety. That is when your dog becomes distressed, panicked, anxious when they are left alone. So it can be a whole host of things. It's typically a lot of vocalization, high-pitched, intense barking, crying, screeching, hypersalivation, drooling, panting, can be vomiting, urinating, defecating, scratching, digging, chewing. Dogs can become extremely destructive in the home when they're panicked. So those are pretty classic symptoms of a dog with separation anxiety. Now the other situation would be confinement anxiety. If you put your dog in a crate or a confined area and they start displaying these behaviors. But if you were to take that same dog and leave them free in your home and leave, they wouldn't be upset. So it really isn't separation anxiety, it's the confinement piece of it that they are struggling with. Understanding which your dog is struggling with helps you know how to deal with it. So we'll start with separation anxiety. It's extremely complex. It needs to be addressed as soon as symptoms are starting to show. Preferably, you want to get ahead of it, meaning help your puppy or dog learn to feel comfortable and safe and relaxed being left alone. It's always better to be ahead of a problem than behind it. This preferably starts when you have a puppy. If you've adopted or welcomed an older dog into your home that already has separation anxiety, then it's something you're going to need to work with a qualified behavior specialist and your veterinarian to address. How do we deal with it? We use behavior modification, which again is unique to every situation and often requires assistance of your vet for prescribed medication. Natural supplements have been very effective, but anytime you're putting anything, a drug or supplement into your dog, you need to be working with your veterinarian. I never encourage clients, oh, go buy this on the internet and just give it to your dog. It's always tell your vet, this is what you'd like to try, have it in their medical record, and get their input also. But we have had very good results helping dogs with natural supplements, also using prescription medication. Now, the goal of prescription medication is not to just tranquilize your dog and knock them out while you're gone. It's to really use a medication that decreases their anxiety so that they can start to learn to feel comfortable, and we can use all these techniques. Because typically one without the other, behavior modification without reducing stress, it doesn't really make a big change. The dog is just stressed and so they can't really participate in any behavior modification. If you just sedate your dog and don't work to change the behavior, you just have a dog who's drugged out, and if those drugs wear off while you're gone, not a good situation. So we want to be working as a team with the vet and the family to help the dog. Confinement anxiety, in a perfect world, we make sure all of our puppies are positively introduced to the concept of confinement from the day we get them. The crate's a great place. You eat in there, your toys are in there. It's a wonderful place to sleep. We always come back and let you out. It's a good thing. And we want to help our puppies learn to feel very content and happy in their crate. If you have a puppy who doesn't feel that way, or you welcomed an older dog into your home, then we need to try to go back and reintroduce the concept of confinement. This also might require the assistance from your vet of using medication or using a stress-reducing supplement or adaptive user or something. We want to get on top of these problems and take them seriously. Puppies and dogs do not outgrow separation anxiety without assistance. They don't suddenly just learn to love their crate because we let them scream it out for 5 hours or 10 hours or a week. That doesn't really help the puppy learn to like the crate if they're having a panic attack, screaming and barking and hurting themselves because we think, well, they'll just sort of outgrow it. So prevention is always the better way to go, but if you already have an existing problem, then we need to intervene and we need to help them. But the first step is determining which your dog has, or do they have both? Do they truly have separation anxiety and they also hate being crated? It's not a good combo. So we have to identify what the problem is. We need to talk to our veterinarian. You need to bring in a qualified behavior person. And if you refer back in the video section on my website, I have multiple videos on crating. I think there's a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3. How to introduce the crate, how to expand the time that they're in the crate, why crating is so important. So I don't want to repeat that in this video. I just want to remind everybody there are a lot of other videos you can refer to on how to work through that. With a new puppy, those don't really refer to a dog who already has existing issues with being confined. So we need to identify which our dog has. If you can't break it down, that's where working with a professional is helpful, because they can help you figure it out. But the sooner you intervene, the better. This can affect your ability to go to work. This can affect your ability to have people come in your house and put your dog in a crate, or just restrict them from having free run of your home. I also have a video on how to help your dog graduate to more freedom. Our goal is not to have puppies and dogs who live in their crates their whole life. It absolutely is not the goal. But we need to know that we can board them. They can go to the vet. They can be crated when we're gone, crated when we leave. That we can leave and our dog will not have such a panic attack that they'll self-injure themselves trying to get out of the house to get to us, or because they just cannot handle the concept of being left alone. So I encourage you, if you're having problems, try to get a little bit of video footage when you're gone so we can really see what's going on when you're not home. Seek out professional help as soon as possible. And you will find that once your puppy or dog is feeling more comfortable, you will feel more comfortable with leaving, because there's truly nothing worse than feeling horrible the whole time you're away from your home, knowing that your puppy or dog is struggling. So the sooner you intervene, the sooner the situation can change, and both you and your pup will start feeling better.